Hello and welcome to Assorted Crackers. I am Eric. I'm here with Lee and Wilson, and today we have a special guest, a friend of the show, Kenton Johnson, who is here with a cocktail quickie. And Kenton, this is called The Fire in the Hole, right?
That is right.
So thank you, first of all, for joining and for bringing this forward. This came up in a dinner conversation, and Lee was like, you know what, we love cocktails, especially cocktails that involve rye or bourbon. So you are now a guest on the show.
Thanks for speaking up, Ken.
Welcome.
We appreciate that.
Welcome to the Cracker Box.
Well, I am excited to be here. And
So what is in a fire in the hole?
well, it is 2 parts rye, 1 part ginger liqueur, 2 shakes Angostura bitters, 1 to 2 shakes Tabasco, depending on how spicy you want to be.
Wait.
yeah.
Let's
And-
not skip over that because I guess that's where the fire in the hole comes from.
That is correct. And being from Louisiana, it's Tabasco. And 2 squirts of lemon
Good gosh.
and garnished with a cherry.
What kind of cherries do you choose?
Well, Luxardo is what I prefer
It is. Why do you prefer those?
See, this is a big debate on the show, Kenton.
because my wife likes them.
And your wife has
answer.
excellent taste. She likes the Italian side of things.
there you go.
There you go.
There's nothing wrong with Luxardo. I will
No,
never
that's-
pass on a
that's
Luxardo
right.
cherry, but Jack Rudy is always my
That is
go-to.
very good, Kenton. Thank you.
So yeah.
Well, you are welcome.
Can you taste the Tabasco, Wilson?
There's a hint of it.
It's usually on the finish.
Yeah. It's,
wow.
It is.
Wow. Yeah, that is.
It is a little
I like
hotter on the back.
So
I like
when you
that.
when you
It
first
is nice.
described this, I was kind of thinking it would taste like a raw oyster. But this is nice. This
Like
is
slide
pleasant.
down your throat?
Well,
Is that- what do
I'm
you
mostly
think? Like-
talking
like-
about the finish
like-
with the Tabasco.
Not really.
What?
Hey, again, we share those Louisiana roots.
But I guess too, I'm getting a little cinnamon.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I guess if that's the spice from the rye.
There's
could be the
there's
rye.
there's a little from the rye. It is.
Which rye did you use?
It is Angel's Envy. So
Angel's
so
Envy, That's
a good choice.
It was finished in
that-
in the barrels.
That makes
So-
it even sweeter.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so,
So-
it's finished in the rum barrel.
Wow.
And then, yeah.
This
That-
is I would have this for dinner. I would have this after
This
dinner.
is really good.
The ginger
Well, I'm
liqueur
glad
adds
you like
something
it.
too.
It's very nice on a summer evening. There's something about that lemon.
Yeah.
It is kind of thirst quenching too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
know?
we're sitting here and seeing the flowers starting to bust open in the spring, and summer's coming, and this is a perfect reminder.
It's a nice intro to that.
This is a good intro.
So what's the origin? Do you know the origin of this?
Well, we were visiting our godson up in Oberlin
Yeah.
College. He was doing his senior performance, and we went out to eat to celebrate his graduation. And this was served at a restaurant there. And the restaurant's no longer there. And when my wife and I saw that there was Tabasco, we're like, we have to talk to the bartender. And he was very kind and did share the recipe.
That's
Fantastic.
awesome.
So,
Now you said that the original name is not Fire in the Hole.
no, it is Fire on the Frontier. But we had a good friend from Wisconsin that wanted this for her signature drink for a family reunion. And it got a little out of hand. And everybody started calling it Fire in the Hole. So, because they couldn't remember the name.
Catchy.
Fewer
catchy.
syllables.
It's
Fewer
catchy.
syllables.
It's catchy. And it's almost a way to call for another one. Fire in the hole!
So
Very
Kenton,
cleverly.
Yeah, can't help it.
you
That's very good, though. I like that.
Thank you.
So tell us. So Ken, you used to live in Minnesota, right?
I did.
What brought you to Memphis?
Well, I'm originally from Louisiana.
Okay.
I say I'm from south of I-10.
Right.
And so that's why
South Louisiana.
That's
Of
why the
course it is.
Tabasco is in my blood. Let me tell you about it. So,
Oh,
so
yes.
anyway, because I went to high school in Lafayette, which wasn't too far from New Iberia, where Tabasco is from. But yeah, I actually went to dental school here, and then I went up there and did a residency and a fellowship and stayed for 35 years, which is hard to believe.
Wait, you were in Minnesota for 35 years.
I was, and we had a really tough winter a couple winters ago. My wife was like, "I think we're done.
It's time.
The frozen tundra.
Let's start looking south again." And
So when you say harsh winter, how many inches of snow?
What is
did you
harsh by
have?
Minnesota standards?
well, 6 months is kind of the standard, and it was the standard, but it was the amount of snow we got. It just didn't stop. It was about 120 inches,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
and it just doesn't leave. And the piles at the end of the driveway were over 6 feet high and everything. So anyway, I started looking, and I found a job here at the University of Tennessee, and I'm very happy to be back. close to my alma mater, Ole Miss.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Hotty toddy.
and got my sister and her family are here, and it's nice to see good friends again.
Yeah, it's good to be-
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So you were at Ole Miss when my wife Susan was there.
Yes.
I will share. Kenton is also brothers to one of her good sorority sisters, Lori. And you were there at a special time because Ole Miss used to have a festival known as Shrimp and Beer. Kenton knows where this is going. And so the idea is all the students, the university hosted basically all the boiled shrimp and kegs of beer you could have about 20, 30 minutes off campus at Sardis Lake. Now, I've heard a story that you were driving the girls to Shrimp and Beer on what was going to be the last year. They finally, obviously for liability reasons, stopped doing Shrimp and Beer at Ole Miss.
Right.
And you almost didn't make it.
Going down sorority row with a car full of my sister and her sorority sisters, sunroof open, and we were kind of in a hurry to go.
What kind of car was it, Kenton?
It was a Volvo.
Oh, okay.
So I was
Boxy? It was boxy?
Oh,
Boxy,
it
but
was
good.
it was a 240. It was a 240 GL, but so it had the sunroof. But anyway, and there was a pickup truck with a big old back end that the trailer hitch.
Was sticking out.
He started to go, and I started to go, and he stopped, and I didn't, and so his
Okay.
trailer hitch went through my grill. But
You were distracted by the girls.
that's what I said.
I feel like that was
I believe
Blame
there was
the girls.
somebody
Blame the
yelling
girls.
out of the sunroof, but because everybody was excited to
Probably
go.
a cheerleader in there.
Probably
but,
Susan.
but his trailer hitch was just fine, and the car
Yeah.
kept going, and so it was just a slight delay. But unfortunately, it was on sorority row, so everybody
had
going
a
to
crowd.
Shrimp and Beer
Nice.
was like, "All right, look at that, good job, Kenton." So,
By the way, there is something poetic as far as representing the Ole Miss, especially in the 80s, a Volvo hitting a pickup truck. That just sort of hits it all. That checks all the boxes at Ole Miss.
we're all family,
Yeah.
hotty toddy.
But you did eventually make it to Shrimp and Beer. And
Yeah, and what was funny is that I got there and people were coming up to me and say, "Oh, sorry about your accident,"
Yeah.
because the word got around as everybody had passed me.
At that time, there were 8,000 undergrads on campus, right?
Right.
And so really everybody knew, most everybody, or at least if you didn't, you were one generation removed. And so, the rumors and the
It was a
conversations just spread.
Small place.
And I
small
thank the
place.
Associated Student Body for they came through with our last Shrimp and Beer.
The very last.
I was glad I was part of that tradition.
There you go.
I'm glad you made it.
So while you were at Ole Miss, did you do anything special? Were you a part of anything as far as the university? What was your
Well, I was fortunate enough to be part of the Pride of the South.
Yes.
part of the South Band?
So,
Okay.
Yes, I was.
All right. So tell me what instrument?
I was alto sax.
Nice.
In the marching band, and then I played the bassoon. In the concert band.
Okay.
Multi-talented.
All right.
Yeah.
Multi-talented.
I'm assuming the bassoon is not easy to carry around on the field.
The embouchure would be really tough with the double reed, and I wasn't really that good. They were just desperate for a bassoonist, so they even gave me a scholarship.
There you go.
That's even better.
Free money. It's even better.
So there are always rumors, Kenton, with college bands. Everybody wants to have the biggest band and have the big impression on the field and during the football game. That they have some band members who really can't play an instrument, but they can march. Was that the case? Did you experience that while you were in the Pride of the South? They just marched around with an instrument and pretended to play?
Well,
Do you know anybody like that?
some people were most probably very talented musicians, but couldn't march too well, and so. I remember we were at the LSU game. We were in the den, the Tiger Den.
Not great.
And we had kind of gotten off about 5 yards of where we were supposed to be. And we realized, we're kind of in the end zone over here. And the person we were supposed to follow got way off, but we followed our way back.
Did you ever have like LSU hostile? That's all. Whenever I think about going to Death Valley, I think of how angry those fans can be.
When we left, we wish we could have taken off our uniforms.
Yeah. Were they throwing things?
They were just yelling things. The only time we got thrown at was Tennessee's homecoming.
They love to throw things in Knoxville, don't they?
And we were winning, and people from the band, said some things. I think it was "Nothing sucks like a big orange," but
Oh, wow.
And within 5 seconds, there were several oranges hurtled towards the band. I think they were aiming
Those
for the
feisty band guys.
for the sousaphones is what they were aiming for.
But at least it wasn't a golf ball or a bottle of mustard.
No. That must be a new tradition. So this was your basic orange.
So was there a specific place maybe that was more ominous? What of all the stadiums you visited in the SEC, what was
your favorite?
Yeah.
Best atmosphere? All of that.
Well, I mean, Death Valley that was crazy. That's where we felt
the most threatened.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, they seem to be one of the loudest bands I've ever heard. All I can think of is
bum, 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 bum. They can do it.
Man,
my freshman year, we got to go to Alabama and see Bear Bryant.
Oh,
and so that was his final season, and that was an amazing game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm guessing
that was a lot of fun.
Ole Miss didn't win that game.
We did not.
Beating Alabama was not a thing in the 80s.
We gave it a
not
good
really
show.
a thing.
And Rod Stewart was there.
Rod Stewart?
Rod Stewart was at the game.
Wait a minute.
Why was Rod Stewart
I don't
at Alabama?
know.
To
Rod
see the
Stewart was
bassoonist?
there.
I'm looking for an alto sax, mates.
But that was a lot of fun being at the
What was his hit
Alabama.
back then? If you want my body and you think I'm sexy?
If you think I'm sexy.
Hot legs.
Good old Rod Stewart.
So yeah, no, good times.
Yeah.
So
All right, so let's change gears just a little bit. Tell me, I hear that you're an expert cross-country skier.
well, I was. So
Living all that time in
Tell us
Minnesota.
about that.
So if you want to stay sane in Minnesota in the wintertime, you got to find something to do outside. And I'm a runner, and so I had a friend that said, we need to go down to the fairgrounds and buy you some used skis. And so I did that, and I was like, how do I ski? And he goes, well, you put them on and kind of walk like Groucho Marx. And so
Shuffle your feet.
That's kind of how I started
Okay.
out, and then I got a little better, and then I got some newer skis, and there's a ski marathon called the Birkebeiner. It started in Norway.
It's a marathon.
It is a marathon. It's 55 kilometers, which is 33 miles.
33 miles.
That's even further than a marathon.
It truly is.
And
It's 26.
And it's a whole lot of hills.
I was going to say the terrain in that area is not flat.
No, yeah, and it's from Cable, Wisconsin to Hayward, Wisconsin, and so you end on Main Street. It's really cool. There's always beer and brats at the end too.
So tell me,
beer and
Well,
brats.
you're going to need beer
Were you
and brats
in the-
after you do that stupid race.
That's going to kill you.
were you in the bottom third, middle third, top third?
in,
What do you
in,
think?
in my younger days, I was right between the upper third and the middle third, and time went on, and I went down a little bit. But our son came in 21st last year, so
21st
God.
out
Yeah.
of how many people?
it's about 8,000 people. So
That's a big race.
21st out of 8,000.
Yeah, it's the largest.
That's huge.
Citizen ski race in the United States. So
My company's based there, so I go there during the winter a lot. I'm always amazed at how
But you stay
how
inside.
active they. No, I do absolutely, buddy. I walk from the Uber to the hotel and that's it. I've never go back out. But they snowshoeing, cross country skiing, snowmobile. Like those folks stay busy because they have to. Like if
Yeah,
you
you're
are
gonna go
if you're
crazy
stuck
if
in
you're
your house
stuck
all the time,
inside
you're going
for
to lose
6
your
months.
mind. Yeah.
as Jimmy Buffett said, you'll shoot how many holes in your refrigerator or freezer if you got cabin fever. So.
There you go.
So
I had to change my latitude.
Right.
we learned something about you last night, and I don't want to violate HIPAA, so if this is going too far, you can shut this off. But you also have made connections with we're wrapping up the Winter Olympics, and
yeah.
you've got connections with I can't think of the sport.
Curling.
It's the women's curling team.
curling.
Yes, yeah. One of the Peterson sisters. So the captain is Tabitha Peterson, but her sister Tara was one of the doctors in my office in Minnesota. So she was there for a few years, and we were texting during the Olympics, which was a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
So she's great.
What position did she was she like? Because
Center.
sister's a dentist. Was she the one out there going?
Yeah, did she
Pushing
scrub her?
it, scrubbing? Was
Well,
she scrubbing?
they all have to take turns depending on which end it is. But
I didn't know that.
I think she's a third is what they. But she is a very good sweeper.
Okay.
So yeah.
And
I think that's
how
a lot
did
more work.
I should know this because I know our curling generally the curling program did pretty well.
Yes.
But how did they do?
They ended up coming in fourth. The women's curling has never gotten a medal. We were just so hoping that they would get one. And they were tied with Switzerland as the #1 round robin team, so we had great hopes. But and they would lose by like one stone. So
it's crazy.
It was good, but they put on a good run.
It's a fun sport to watch. Actually.
It is. I assume you've watched the competition.
Have you played?
Live?
Yes, I've only played twice.
But you played. Like, that's still something, Ken.
Did you have, like, the slide? Like, when you get down low and you would slide your feet like they do?
I could slide about 6 feet, and then I'd fall over. 6 feet?
You got me beat.
That's awesome.
It was enough to, when you're holding onto the stone, you kind of got a tripod. But when you let go of the stone, you're like, ah.
Well, there's a curling league down in Olive Branch. You can go practice.
I wasn't aware.
At the DeSoto Civic Center or whatever?
Or at the ice skating rink down there, you can go curling.
I'm kind of fascinated by that. I really am.
This could be
we need
a cracker night on the ice.
How many
curling?
How many people are on a team?
The curling crackers.
There's 4 people on a team. If we could talk producer Bill into this, we're doing this, guys.
After surgery.
That's true. He's got shoulder surgery coming up.
That's right. All right. So let's change gears one more time. You're also a world traveler.
Oh yeah.
I do enjoy traveling. So yeah, and part of it was through Nordic skiing.
Yeah.
Or was it just to get out of Minnesota in the winter?
Okay, so this is how passionate I was about cross-country skiing. Most people go to someplace warm in the wintertime, and I ended up doing 10 other World Loppet races in the winter.
Oh.
So we would leave in February or January and go to Switzerland or Sweden or Norway, and my wife was like, when are we going to take a warm trip?
No wonder she wanted to come back to Tennessee.
She was a gem and went to and supported me. It was a lot of fun. So yeah. So
that's awesome.
But we do like to travel.
So what was the coolest place you've ever traveled?
Yeah.
Well, we just came back from a trip last October from Croatia where we
that's a beautiful place.
We leased a sailboat and went from island to island and I biked on each of the islands, which was fantastic. The food, fresh fish every day. It was fantastic.
Man, that sounds awesome.
Now,
So
do
nice.
you and Melinda, right? Mm-hmm. Do you plan your trip like step by step, or do you have an agency or a group you work with to put the details together?
We like to plan what we'd like to do, and if we need a little help, we would get some help. So this particular one, we ended up leasing the boat with all of our friends, so it was just pretty easy.
That sounds amazing.
But yeah.
So I think I remember one trip now, because we talk a lot about nostalgia, and we talk about making a difference, spending some time with family and working on relationships with our children, with our parents, and how do we do things, and things we did right, things we did wrong, whatever it is. But didn't you take a special trip maybe with your dad?
I did, yeah. My dad was a micropaleontologist, and we took a trip down.
Wait.
Wait. Yeah,
he was a what? I just want to make sure I've got that.
And he is a hoot.
You said micro, so does that mean he's a little doctor?
Yeah, so little.
He wasn't a big man.
Little tiny fossils. So
okay.
So
oh wow.
But his love was also geology, and then he specialized in that. But so we went to the Galapagos because that was a very geologically significant area, and we went to Peru and went to Machu Picchu and did some stuff along the Inca Trail. So.
And that was later in life, wasn't it?
That was, yeah. My mom had passed away, and so the two of us did some traveling. So
that's fun.
Now that was organized by somebody else. So yeah.
It was a little slower pace than you're used to going on too, I'm sure.
I'm guessing you didn't ride bikes or cross country ski in the Galapagos.
No, and the altitude was kind of tough on him, so I did the Inca Trail Park by myself. But anyway, but yeah, that was a fantastic trip. And then, if we have time, one of my other favorite trips I did with my two sons were we did a hut-to-hut hike through the Dolomites. So where the Olympics were just happening, we were there in the summertime going from village to village hiking, and that was for 8 days. And
wow.
Yeah. And that was amazing. So the scenery you saw on the Olympics, I mean, if you thought it was pretty in the wintertime, it's beautiful in the summertime.
I imagine so, just like here, Colorado.
Right.
All that in the winter in the summer is just as, if not more beautiful.
Right, yeah, the wildflowers and everything.
Yeah.
So,
Ken,
so, yeah.
I'm thinking when you're ready to retire from dentistry, maybe you've got a second career in travel agency. Because no kidding, like I would love for you to put together a trip.
A
for us.
guide.
I
Just
mean,
being a
yeah,
guide. Yeah.
goodness. That would be so amazing.
I don't
thanks.
care about doing any
I-
cross country,
Yeah,
With
I'd like
skis,
I'd
I
like
mean-
warm trips myself.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go with your wife.
I,
She
I,
can
I
lead
left
the
my
way.
skis in Minnesota with some friends. I skied when I was up there last weekend because the Birkebeiner was last weekend. I did not ski the Birkebeiner. I just skied.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, I left him up there. I'm
Well, you could have used them here a couple of weeks ago.
No doubt.
Yeah, wait. When did you come back? Was it?
Oh,
Did you bring all that with you?
yeah. That's my. I came back the end of October, and my wife came back the end of December. So yeah, we take full responsibility.
Welcome back.
Thanks a lot,
Melinda.
Kenton.
So,
Thanks a lot.
All right, so let me ask you this. This is some. How about some rapid fire questions? You ready?
Oh, okay.
All right. What's your favorite bourbon?
Any bourbon.
Okay. All right, let's go back. What's your favorite place to have a drink?
My back porch. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
there you
yeah.
go. There you go. And then let's see. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Don't let the day control you. You control your day.
I love it.
That's good.
fantastic.
That's good.
Fantastic. And what's one tool that you can't live without?
A tool.
Yeah. See, he's a dentist.
Yeah.
Those are instruments. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. I guess it's better not to put one of those in your
A
mouth.
chisel and a hammer.
A good knife.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. There
Nice.
you go. All right. So then I will stop back. What is one song that instantly pops back into your head that reminds you of band days?
Oh.
Oh, that was so funny when we went to the concert last night when Star Wars came on because we used to march to the theme to Star Wars.
You're kidding.
I am not kidding.
I don't remember that.
Well, that was when I was in high school in the 70s.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
anyway, so
Star Wars.
yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, marching to Star Wars.
Well, I got to tell you, thank you so much for this wonderful cocktail. Fire in the Hole is amazing.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
it was
y'all
very
like
good.
this.
Thank you.
And-
We all have empty glasses.
Yeah.
And not only that, thank you for coming.
Yeah, this is
this is
been fun.
fantastic.
Spur of the moment.
Very-
You stepped up
Well,
to the
it's,
plate. Nice job.
it's amazing what happens over dinner.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
this
Well,
was-
I know you always have the one question for every guest.
Are you ready for it?
okay.
So we're memorializing this. If there is one thing that you want to leave your children, grandchildren, your legacy, what is one thing that you want to make sure that you memorialize right here on the Assorted Crackers that you want everybody to know?
Just be kind.
There
like
you
that.
go.
That's simple.
That's what I
Keep it simple.
That's what I try to tell them, and that's what I try to be.
There you go.
So yeah.
I think you achieved that.
You definitely are a kind guy.
Can I just do one short, really short little story?
I love your
please.
stories.
So
Come on.
So Angels Envy was the ride today.
Yep.
And so we had some friends from Minnesota that were driving down to Charleston, and we had to fly because I didn't have enough time. They had just retired, and so they stopped in Louisville and wanted to do some of the Whiskey Trail. And they were not really rye or bourbon people, so they were just trying some things. And they were trying stuff at Buffalo Trace, and they got to the rye that's aged in the barrels, the Angel's Envy. And the guy goes, wow, this is really good. How much is it? And then they told him the price, and he kind of balked at it. And the person behind the counter goes, well, son, that is Christmas morning in a bottle.
Nice.
I think of s'mores whenever I have their rye. The Angel's Envy rye is always
and so
like a dessert.
That was funny, but to hear someone from Wisconsin try to do a Southern accent was even more funny. But anyway,
classic.
But anyway, so I've always, when I think of Buffalo Trace, I just think of that quote. That's classic quote. So
We're glad to have you back in town. It's good to catch up.
very good to be back. So thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Before we wrap, I do have an update going back to an earlier episode. Remember, we had Graybeard, our 90-year-old adventurer who's working on a through hike for the Appalachian Trail. In early February, he completed the southern leg, so he's done basically half of the AT. He's now home for a break. and he's on track. So again, the rules are if you finish the full Appalachian Trail in a calendar year, you get credit for a through hike. So he's on track to be successful. He did have a mishap. So he talked earlier about the big snow and ice event while he was home taking a break. Again, you think about how treacherous the Appalachian Trail could be. No, this was while he was home. We had all the snow and ice. He fell on the ice and cracked a rib. So a 90-year-old man, we heard from Graybeard, he clearly lives like younger than we are, with a cracked rib out finishing the Appalachian Trail is just something to behold. But go Graybeard, we're rooting for you. And if you haven't heard that episode, it's a good one. Go back and listen to it.
Check it out.
Called Graybeard the Adventurer.
You know where you can find that?
Remind me.
You can find us where you can find us anywhere where you get your podcast. You can find us on YouTube. If you want to find us on YouTube, please find us at 3 Assorted Crackers at 3 Assorted Crackers. And then if you want to email us,
Ding, ding, ding.
then what you need to do is you need to email us at 3 Assorted Crackers, 3 Assorted Crackers at gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Instagram at 3 Assorted Crackers. We need you. We would love for you to join us as a follower, a subscriber, and a sharer. Doing those things is our love language.
Please, we're kind of begging. Like we really need you to do this. Please.
And not only that,
Please.
Look, we like your feedback.
Yeah.
So tell us, good, bad, ugly, whatever you like.
We can take it.
Check it out. We would love to do things that you want us to do because we respond to the things that you ask us to do. If you got something you want us to taste, let us know. Send it to us. You got something you want us to talk about, we'll do it.
We will do it. We're almost up for anything.
Absolutely.
All right, this has been fun. Wilson, please bring us home.
So, Kenton, thank you. Cheers for helping us try new flavors. And please don't go stale.
Hear, hear, guys.
Here, here.
Fire in the hole.
Tell me about hypodontia.
Doncha? Hypodontia?
Hypodontia, excuse me. Thank you. I don't know what that is.
Where did you come up with that?
What is that? I don't know. Why did...
What the hell?
Wait, did you pronounce it correctly?
No, I didn't. I'm kind of like Anchorman. If it hits the teleprompter, I'm going to give it a whirl.